As I said earlier, I'm very glad to be here to open the session this morning. To give you a little bit of information about Iupac, the organization, what it is, what it does, and what activities it has that are contributing to human health sciences. You may be aware of the name Iupac, the International Union of Pure Applied Chemistry. Most people don't know very much about it, except that it is involved in the naming of new chemical elements. That's what most people associate Iupac with. However, Iupac is an organization that was founded in 1919 in Paris. And its mission, as shown here, is to advance chemistry in the worldwide pursuit of the chemical sciences. And it has right now 62 countries that contribute members to the parent organization. I don't know how many total people there are, but it is a worldwide organization, and it right now is involved in many different aspects of chemistry, which I won't go into in any detail, but the Iupac is divided into 8 different divisions: the physical chemistry, organic chemistry, inorganic, analytical, environmental, polymer, and our own division of chemistry and human health. So you can see there are many different aspects of chemistry that are involved. And we're only going to talk today about the chemistry and human health division and some of the activities that are going on in our division. So our division, chemistry and human health, has been established in order to develop information, tools that can be used for chemists to help in their research studies. It is not a research-based organization. Iupac is supported by its member countries, and it does not have the funds or the objective of doing laboratory research. Rather, it has activities that provide information and tools that can be used for people who are doing research in their own laboratories. Some of the activities of our division are to produce these type of products, the publication of books and reports, glossaries, establish meetings and workshops in particular areas, and in some cases to provide definitions and standards for chemical terminology where necessary. In order to do this, the division is divided into 3 subcommittees. The subcommittee that is really represented here is the is the Drug Discovery and Development Subcommittee, which is headed up by Janos Fischer. And you'll hear more from him later when he gives his talk. The second subcommittee is Toxicology and Risk Assessment. This is a subcommittee composed of people in toxicology who are educating or bringing chemistry into the realm of toxicologists and to produce books, reports that are useful in defining some of the terminology in toxicology for chemists to use. The third subcommittee is the one we call nomenclature, properties, and units. I won't spend any time on this. This is a group of people who are involved in clinical chemistry laboratories around the world. And their role is to harmonize many of the definitions, the terminology, the standardization of clinical chemistry terms for people who are using this in the medical sciences. So I said that some of the output of our division actually is to produce books that have importance for people that are doing research in the area. So this is an example of some of the books that have been published over the years from our division. Some of which you may recognize as being part of the chemistry and human health area. The book on pharmaceutical salts was the first compilation of the salts that are used in pharmaceutical products. Most pharmaceutical products are actually sold and used as salts, but there was no standardization, no reference as to what salts are useful for medicinal agents, and this was done under the leadership of Camille Vermouth in France some years ago, and it's going into a second edition. I won't spend time on the analog-based drug discovery because that's headed up by Janos Fischer, and he will talk some more about activities there. Another book that has its origin in the toxicology and risk assessment subcommittee is the book on toxicology in the classroom. This is a teaching text for students in middle school. It was designed with using computer graphics and computer animation to teach school children about the dangers of compounds like pesticides, and it is particularly useful for in those countries where agriculture is a main effort, and a lot of use of chemicals in the agricultural area is involved with a lot of with actually very little knowledge about what are the effects of the pesticides that people are using. So this was something that was done as a collaboration with the World Health Organization, and is now going into a second edition. Let me go back because I actually overlooked a book that I wanted to particularly point out, and that's listed on the bottom of this slide, the Practical Studies for Medicinal Chemistry. This is a book that was actually initiated as a project by Professor Barrero with Professor Antonio Manga from the University of Navarro in Spain. And it was designed particularly with Latin America in mind, with experiments that are discussed that utilize standard reagents and technology that's available in most Latin American countries. It has become a very successful book. It's published in hard copy, which I have here, in 3 languages, English, Spanish, and Portuguese. The experiments are given in all 3 languages. And is also available on the web as an internet source for people who don't have access to the hard copy. People can look up the textbook, look up the experiments, and use them whenever they feel that it can be useful for either their research or for their teaching program. So it's both a teaching text and a research text. And that has been used not only in Latin America, but also even in the U.S. There are some universities that are utilizing the experiments in this textbook. That's been a very successful one. Another output of the division has been a series of glossaries of terms that are used in different chemistry, chemical research. Some of them are involved in toxicology, and I know that you have some toxicology lectures later in their program. So these are some things that may be even useful for some of the people doing work in that area. All of these glossaries are actually published in Pure and Applied Chemistry first. And so I list the dates and the pages for them. But they are also freely available on the web. If you go to the Iupac website and you find the Pure and Applied Chemistry part of the web, you can actually get to the glossaries themselves, and you can download and copy any of the glossary terminology that you're interested in. Some of the glossaries have been published in other books and journals too. For instance, the last one there, the terms used in medicinal chemistry, has just recently been published in the ACS NudChem journal book, Annual Reports of Medicinal Chemistry, which came out last year. So that is available in a hard copy version too, in 2 different places, as well as available on the website. Some of the current projects that are involved in the toxicology and risk assessment area are shown here. I'm not going to spend any time on them, but I would like to just point out that they are beginning to explore the area of nanomaterials and their involvement in human health activities, because we're beginning to see the advent of nanoparticles being used in either drug delivery or drug usage. And so they have a project that is dealing with some of the analytical, the synthetic aspects, the toxicological aspects, pharmacological aspects. That's the last project that I've listed on the slide here. And if anybody wants some of these references, I can give you to you later during the breaks. These are some of the projects that are going on now in our Drug Discovery and Development Subcommittee. as you see, we've had a lot of involvement with courses in Latin America. As Dr. Barrero talked about in 2005, we were involved in that course. We've had a course that was given in India 2 years ago, and will be given again next month in India. The survey of research into new drugs for neglected diseases in Latin America is really an important project that came out of our subcommittee. This project identified laboratories, 50 laboratories in many countries that are doing research in Latin America on tropical diseases. The point of the project was to identify these laboratories, identify what diseases they are working on, compile all of the results of these activities into a report, and provide that report to all of the different laboratories that are doing research, so that they know who else is doing research in an area that they're interested in. The goal is to try to create a critical mass of people working in this area to work together to solve some of these problems, and to provide information to other sources for funding of these research projects. These projects start out small, but they need to get into clinical studies if they're going to be successful. And that takes lots of money, and it takes support from pharmaceutical industries too. So many of the projects that are going on in Latin America are not even visible, outside of their own countries, or certainly outside of Latin America. And we hope by providing this information, we can stimulate more interest in the laboratory work research that's going on in Latin America, and a workshop to discuss some of the activities going on in this area is in the planning stage right now by our subcommittee. I mentioned the workshop, or I mentioned the area of nanomaterials, and a workshop on that area was just given last year by a professor at the University of Kent in the UK. And his goal again was to bring in some experts working in the area of nanomaterials in the human health area, to provide to students at the university, plus people who attended, information about some of the aspects of nanomaterials that's going to be important in the research activities. And the last project, the emerging problem designer drugs, this is an area where we become more aware of drugs that are being made for illicit purposes, and there is a growing awareness of chemists being involved in some of these activities, and we're hoping to provide information for people who are either in forensic chemistry or some aspects that need to understand the chemical basis for some of the compounds that are now being promoted for use in drug use. I won't go into the subcommittee on nomenclature, properties, and units. You can see that they have a number of project activities that are involved in terminology for clinical chemistry, but that's a very specialized area that we don't need to discuss today. The last thing I wanted to talk about was the Iupac Richter Prize in medicinal chemistry. This prize is given every 2 years to a chemist who has made outstanding contributions to medicinal chemistry. It was first organized by Janos Fischer with a grant from his company, the Gideon Richter Company. That's why it's called the Richter Prize. And it provides $10,000 to a chemist that has been selected from nominations from the chemical community. And the lecturers, or the winner of the prize is giving lectures at least 2 different meetings during the year of his award. The one shown here was given in 2010, and then the last 2, 2012, 2014, are listed here. And we actually are fortunate to have 2 of the award winners as part of the program here. Jan Harris will be lecturing later in the week, and he's not listed on the slide here, but he was the winner of probably the 2008 prize, I think. And Helmut Wolfman is now the current award winner for the Richter Prize, and we'll be talking later also. So that really completes my introduction, to activities going on in Iupac that contribute to the research programs around the world. And I'm happy to either answer questions or in the breaks to give you more information if anybody is looking for it. So thank you very much for your time. Obrigado.
Well, good morning again. I'd like to thank the organizers for allowing me to speak today, and I'm glad to see that you're all here. This is my 3rd trip to your beautiful country. My last trip was to Iupac. I love the name of that place. Very lovely place, and the birds were fantastic. I always enjoy coming here, but I've never been to Rio. It's a very beautiful city, and I'm looking forward to learning more about it. I have been with the Division of Medicinal Chemistry this is my 21st year. When I was a young person like you, I was advised to get involved in organizations and support the profession that is supported here. And so I did that, and very early on got involved with the Division of Medicinal Chemistry. I think I've held every job in the division. So this is small, and you may not be able to see it all. But recently we had a strategic planning meeting, which is an excuse for us to get together and go out to dinner. And we also worked very hard on the future direction of the division. So our vision statement reads: the division is a global authority and advocate for the practice of medicinal chemistry with the goal of improving human health through drug discovery, research, and education. So the key word here is global, because we're now reaching out to other countries, and as we'll see in a few minutes, we're reaching out to your country. We have 4 strategic initiatives. We want to provide support and advocate education in medicinal chemistry. We want to be a strong advocate for interdisciplinary cutting-edge research, and we want that to be reflected in our programming, at our meetings, our policy, and also our global outreach. We want to increase opportunities for member participation and involvement in the running of the division, and we want to enhance communication. We've mostly done this through our publications and through our website. So you'll see more about that in just a minute. The current officers of the division are listed here. We have a 5-year cycle for people in industry and a 3-year cycle for people in academia. I'm not sure how that came to be. Our current chair is John Macor from Bristol-Myers Squibb, and just recently elected as vice chair, Thomas Bannister from the Scripps Institute in Florida. Wendy Young, who you'll be hearing from later, is the program chair, so she organizes all of the ACS meetings, the content for our division. D. Eric Walters is our secretary. He does the webpage and most of the communication. Dave Rotella, the chair from Montclair State. Jane Aldridge from the University of Kansas is a counselor. Counselors are people who have a lot of experience with ACS, and they're basically advisors. So they fulfill a very important role. Craig Leslie from Vanderbilt, Amy Ripka from Wujai, and Bill Greenleaf from MedChem Discovery Consulting are the current counselors. And notice that there's 2 from academia and 2 from industry, and that's very important because our division is split so that we serve both the academic and industrial communities. So we've always had a nice balance in the division of representatives from those two areas. Tom Crisenzano at the University of Kansas just finished his term as chair, and Tom Perun, who you just heard from, is our Foreign Societies liaison. So I thought you might be interested to see some statistics about our division. Our current membership is 8,684 medicinal chemists. We're actually the 3rd largest division in the American Chemical Society. The American Chemical Society has, I think, about 130,000 members. There are about 35 technical divisions by discipline, so we have rubber chemistry, organic, polymer, things like that. So organic and polymer are bigger than us, but we are the 3rd. We have 5,863 regular members, or 67%. Those are people who belong to ACS and also belong to the division. We have 717 student members, and so on and so forth. So that all comes to a total of 8,700 roughly. 65.9% of our members have PhDs. And this is a statistic we need to change. 81% are male and 18.9% are female, but that number is growing. But notice only 63% of our members are from the U.S. And this is also something we'd like to increase. 12% are from Europe. We have about 5% from Japan, 3.8% from China, 2.6% from India, and Brazil. We have 0.5% of our members. So we'd like to have you join to get involved in the division. The 2 that are very important right now in terms of growth are China and India, because as you know, the pharmaceutical industry has outsourced a lot of their research to these 2 countries. And also, a lot of people from the industry have gone over to China to actually run companies. So there's a lot of people with interest in medicinal chemistry there. And I just want to point out that even in the membership, we're about 50-50 in terms of academic versus industrial. So we try to represent everyone. This is our new web page, and the URL appears at the top there. It's very simple, www.acsmedchem.org. And we hope you'll visit this page. And I'm sorry there's no Portuguese on the page, but you can fix that if you want. So this is sort of our nerve center. All the information about the division is there. And I'll show you some of the things that you can see there as well. We have 2 main publications that come from the division. The first is our newsletter called The Reaction Times. It says all the news that's fit to react to. And we publish this twice a year, and this always has information about our programming coming up with the ACS meetings, and who won awards, and everything about the division. So this is important to our members because it helps them keep up with what we're doing. And then we have a very nice publication that comes out every year called Annual Reports in Medicinal Chemistry. And I want to point out to you that every member of the division receives this book as part of their membership. You'll see the membership fees are very minuscule to be in the division. If you buy this on Amazon, it's, I think, $140. So it's really a bargain to be able to get this book. This year is our 50th edition, so we're having a celebration, and we're going to go to an all-electronic format. So this will be accessed only by division members, but you'll be able to get this online. We just opened a new store for medicinal chemistry. This you can get to from our webpage. And the main purpose of this is twofold. One is to get new members. And here you can see, or maybe you can't see, the fees for joining. It's $25 for a regular person, a practitioner of medicinal chemistry, and looks like $10 for students. And you can also purchase back versions of the annual reports, and we'll actually send you these until we run out. We do have extra copies of some of the more recent ones. Here's an example of our programming. So this is the programming that we have coming up at the Denver meeting, which is coming up soon in March. You can see the diversity of the topics. We have a session on positron emission topography, microbiome. There is a young investigator symposium where we invite some of our younger members to come in and speak. RNA targeting, sodium channels, new models for drug discovery. So these are all patterned around the theme, and you can see that we run more than one at a time. So when you go to an ACS meeting, you can select which of these you'd like to go and see. We also share programming with foreign to us societies. So the European Federation, we have a long-standing agreement with them where we exchange every other year. We exchange symposia. So we send them 2 sessions one year, and then the next year they will send us 2 sessions. So we attend their meeting wherever it is, and they come to our meeting. We're starting to have the same kind of relationship with the Asian Federation, and we're now exchanging 1 symposium every other year with them, and we hope to expand that. The division gives several awards. Excuse me. The division gives a number of awards every year. In fact, it's getting difficult to handle all of the awards that we have, but these are our major awards. The Bristol-Myers Squibb Specimen Award is given in odd years, and I think this may be the first announcement of the winner for this year. In 2015, the winner is Dennis Iota from Emory University, very accomplished medicinal chemist. And the year we don't give the Smithman Award, we give the Division of Medicinal Chemistry Award. This is given in even years. And every other year we have a National Medicinal Chemistry Symposium. I was fortunate enough to organize that last year in Charleston, South Carolina. And the winner of the Division Award was William Denny. He's actually the first person to win this from outside the country in a very long time. He's from New Zealand. And one of our newer awards is the Portuguese Lectureship. We select a prominent medicinal chemistry. This is given a medicinal chemistry researcher. This is given every year. It's co-sponsored by us and the Journal of Medicinal Chemistry. And this year's winner is Richard Lennon from Virginia Commonwealth University. I told you about the National Medicinal Chemistry Symposium, and we had this in May in Charleston, as I said. I tell people this is my backyard, but it's actually not. But this is it shows you what South Carolina is like. There's a lot of water, similar to here, and so a lot of bridges and things. But it's a very beautiful place, and I hope you all get a chance to visit there sometime. Just watch out for the alligators. And the last thing I want to show you, I guess you would consider this an advertisement, but we decided that in order to increase our members from outside, and particularly to give students an opportunity to belong, that we're going to have a sale, basically. And this is a special offer, and we're offering it here for the first time at this summer school. For a limited time, you can join the division. The normal rate, as I said, is $25 for senior investigators, faculty, and so on and so forth. So we're cutting that for the people that attend this meeting to $15. And undergraduate and graduate students and postdoctoral associates can now join for $8. So I'll make this flyer available in case you want to take advantage of this. And I think $8 is about 19 reals, so that's not very much. And you really do get a lot for that membership, including the annual reports. So here's the process. You can get onto our store and use this coupon code that will give you the special rate. And we're having that offer open until April 15th. And if you've got your colleagues, we'll let them join too. It's not only limited to people at this school. So we're going to do the same thing in a couple of weeks in India and try to get some people to join from there. So that gives you a flavor of what the Division of Medicinal Chemistry does. And I'll tell you that ACS really likes us because we create programs that they don't have. And they look at us as being one of the most innovative divisions in the American Chemical Society. So I hope you will check this out, and we would be very happy to have you as members. And again, thank you for your time and for allowing me to speak. Over.